Hey everybody, in this short video, I just want to provide an addendum to the previous video where I tried to import the blue character rig into Unity and impose all of the shadow components and animations onto it, and it turned out to not work that well because of the eyeballs, I believe. Well, I just want to provide a small addendum to that video with a different model that I found that you can also use for the same purpose. This is a model originally created in Maya by somebody else. Credit in the description and on the course website so you can actually find this for yourself. This is a mannequin model, and we're going to bring this into Unity, and we're going to do what I tried to do with the blue model in the previous video. Important to note, this is a mannequin model. There's also like a poly boxes here, like a low poly box version of the model here. It's okay. The way I'm going to bring it in, I'm just going to bring all of this in. So instead of just trying to select the geometry and the skeleton and avoid the controls and stuff like that, this time, I'm just going to go ahead and open Unity now because I already have it open. This time what I did, if I go into my stuff, in my prefabs, oh, actually not my prefabs, my models, mannequin, we have the mannequin model here. You'll notice that down here, you can see that what I dragged in, instead of dragging in an FBX file, I just dragged in the entire the entire Maya file into the scene itself. This is an alternate version of importing where you can just take the Maya file or the blend file if you're working in Blender and just drag it in here and just import it into Unity that way. Usually I don't condone importing stuff into the game engine that way, but in this case, for the purposes that we're looking to do here, it's actually going to work out quite well for us. So I went ahead and just imported the whole Maya file into Unity just by dragging it in like so. And here it is already brought in, because it took about a minute to properly bring it in, so I didn't want to waste your time by just loading in the model into the game engine. So we got the mannequin in here, wonderful. I already extracted the materials and applied the wooden mannequin texture that the mannequin has, so that's already applied. Hooray. Last thing we want to do is go to rig like we did with the blue character. We want to change animation type to humanoid. We're going to keep all of this as is. Avatar definition create for model, skin weight standard for bones. I'm going to apply that. We're going to wait just a moment. Since this is a whole .maya file and not an FBX file, anytime you do stuff like importing it in or trying to apply textures and stuff, it takes a little while longer to apply that stuff to this model, which is one of the weaknesses of importing a .ma file or a .blend file as opposed to just importing in a .fbx or a .obj. But regardless, this is ready now for the scene. This scene is just a blank scene, nothing in here except for the shadow character that we've been using in the previous couple of videos. Again, we're going to do the exact same thing I did with the man character and with the blue character in previous videos. I am going to take the mannequin and I am going to study all of the components that make up the shadow character, and I'm just going to apply all that stuff to the mannequin. Quick thing to notice, we do have that low poly boxes that we had in the Maya scene in this layer. It's not hidden by layers here, and we actually don't need those poly boxes at all, so I'm just going to go into geometry. The boxes geometry, I'm just going to delete it completely because we don't actually need it at all. And now we're going to do what we did in the previous couple of videos, which is just study all of the components for the shadow character, starting with the animator component. And we need to make sure we have the same controllers. So we want the character controller applied onto the mannequin. Let's do that real quick. Character controller applied onto mannequin, perfect. Next thing, we need a rigid body. So let's add a component, rigid body. And I believe this was 80. Anything else different? Collision detection, continuous dynamic. This is currently discrete, so let's change that. And that should be it. Constraints, I need freeze rotation on X, Y, and Z. X, Y, and Z frozen, perfect. Next up, we need a capsule collider, otherwise we're just going to fall through the floor. So capsule, let's see, I'm going to lower down the radius. 0.2 seems pretty good, all right. Lower down the height. Start from there. I'm going to go ahead and go into orthographic view for more control over what I see. Right view. I'm going to click on this edit collider here so I can just push these points and give myself more fine control over the collider itself. Perfect. Do I want to lower this more? 0.15, 0.13, 0.12. 0.13 is okay. Let's stick with that. Okay, go out of orthographic view, go back here, perfect. Back, shadow character, let's see. Now we need to apply these scripts. Let's do that. Let's jump over to where my shadow character is, go to where its scripts are. Let's also go ahead and lock in my mannequin and the inspector so that I don't lose this. Scripts, player scripts, here they are. Let's plug these in. We have basic behavior. We have move behavior. We have fly behavior. And we have aim behavior. And let's also just add in the crosshair real quick. Should just be the basic decal. I believe it's called, there it is, decal crosshair. That's what the shadow character uses. We can use it here as well. Or you can use anything really as a crosshair. As long as it's a sprite. Now we need to attach the camera. So speaking of the camera, let's go ahead and get the camera set up here. Let's bring it down a little bit. Let's actually do orthographic view so I can get more fine control over the positioning of this camera. It doesn't need to be exactly where Shadow's camera is. It's going to automatically place itself via scripting, but you know, it doesn't hurt to make it a little bit easier for myself, especially since I'm going to make this a prefab anyway. So let's see, camera, perfect. I'm going to call this camera mannequin cam. Good. And if we go back to Shadow's camera here, we can see that the camera actually does have its own script, of course, third-person orbit camera. So let's attach that. Scripts, level scripts. Back to mannequin cam, lock that in the inspector, third person, perfect. The player in this case is the mannequin. If we go back to the mannequin, we have to attach the camera to this player camera here. So let's go ahead and let's make this a child of the mannequin. And let's go ahead and, mannequin, and let's go ahead and plug in this camera here for player camera. Okay. And I believe that should just about do it for this. So I actually don't need shadow anymore, so let's hope that everything is ready to go here for mannequin. Let's play the scene and hope for the best. And unlike blue, this should work out. This is working out. Look at that. There we go. So you can take models from other programs like Maya or Blender that have already been rigged, and you can bring them into Unity. If they're humanoid, you can use Shadow as a baseline and attach those animations and scripts to your other characters like this mannequin here. Perfect. Jump back down. I can do the aim thing by holding the right mouse button. Perfect. Perfect, 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 perfect. Okay, and last thing I'm going to do, so I can use this in future projects, I'm going to go to my prefabs. I'm going to take the mannequin, I'm just going to drag it down, I'm just going to make it one of my prefabs. So now I have the option of a first-person controller, a capsule controller, or an actual character controller with animations and stuff for my use whenever I would like. All right, so that is just a quick addendum video to the blue video. There are models you can use that do in fact work with the method of just imposing Shadow's components onto them. That way you can very quickly, without having to know much scripting or anything, just understanding the basics of reverse engineering, you can take other pre-prepared models and place animations on them if they are similar enough to other stuff that you can find in the asset store. All right, thank you very much for watching. I will talk to you all next time. Bye-bye.